Now at 5:30 a.m., a man will face a judge after being charged with murder in Lexington's 12th homicide of the year. We've got the latest details on the gruesome case.
Also on WKYT this morning, Donald Trump has accepted his party's nomination for president. More on what he talked about in his 75-minute speech. That's ahead this morning.
And new plans have been released for the Center Point project downtown. We'll tell you about what lies ahead on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. It is your Friday, and we're glad you're on WKYT this morning as we get ready for the weekend. I'm Bill Bryant.
I'm Rebecca Smith. It's going to be a hot one, and you'll have to take advantage of it, especially if the kids going back to school.
Right. The time's running out. So
It
the point,
is.
right?
It is.
Yeah, it's a hot one out there, but we'll have some showers from time to time. Here's meteorologist Micah Harris.
Yeah, and a lot of fairs going on, too. And you know what? Trying to finish off those fairs in towards your weekend. It's going to be very, very steamy. It's going to be one of those times you want to take around a water bottle the whole time because it's going to be very hot. But the good news here is, I don't know if it's good news for some of you because some of you got some events going on. But the good news is for some of us trying to cool us off, we got a couple of rumbles of thunder in the forecast. So it is looking like it's going to be hot and humid today off towards your weekend, but a few rumbles are headed our way. Temperatures there in the 70s this morning, a couple of 60s. We'll finish off right around 92 degrees once again this afternoon. Now let me tell you this. We'll be at 91, 92 degrees today and into the weekend. But we're throwing in a big-time moisture swing, which means bump up that feels like temperature about 5 to 10 degrees from where it's been the past couple of days. The past couple of days have not been fun. I'm going to show you that in your forecast coming up.
All right, hot and rain. What a combo, huh? That's what we're facing. Yeah.
Well, today a man will face a judge after a gruesome crime in a Lexington neighborhood.
Police say that 24-year-old Patrick Jones killed his ex-girlfriend, 20-year-old Haley Bourgeois, then dismembered her body. WKYT's Mark Barber is live with more on Lexington's 12th homicide of this year. Mark?
Good morning, Bill. For the first time, we are learning how Haley Bourgeois was killed and how police learned about her death. According to court documents, Patrick Jones killed her with a wrench and then told one of his friends that he had killed his ex-girlfriend. That friend then told around and told police about the horrifying crime. When investigators found the 20-year-old woman's body, it had been dismembered and tossed into 2 dumpsters on Malibu Drive. Bourgeois' body was so mutilated, the coroner had to identify her by a tattoo. Investigators have not released any information about why she was killed, but we have learned the two got into an argument right before her death. Bourgeois was Jones's ex-girlfriend, and they shared at least one child together. That child is now with Bourgeois' mother. This morning, court records indicate that there were some earlier trouble in what appears to have been a tumultuous relationship. We've learned that the couple filed emergency protective orders against each other last year, but that then they both dropped those cases a month later. Now in this latest case, Jones is facing a number of charges, including murder and the abuse of a corpse. He will answer to those charges and step up the steps here at the district courthouse to face a judge this afternoon. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Thanks so much, Mark. It's a high-profile case we've been tracking since the start. The man convicted of killing a UK chef will be back in court today. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain's at our alert desk to explain why.
In December 2013, Alex Johnson was beaten to death and dumped in the Kentucky River. A little over a month ago, a jury found Robert Mark Taylor guilty of kidnapping and murdering Johnson. Taylor was also found guilty of tampering with physical evidence. The jury recommended that he serve 22 years in prison for murder, 22 years for kidnapping, and 5 years for evidence tampering, those sentences to be served consecutively. Taylor is scheduled to be in court at 8:30 this morning.
New on WKYT this morning, Lexington police are looking for a man who just robbed a gas station. They say he was wearing all black, including gloves and a stocking over his face. He pulled a gun on the clerk at the Circle K on West Main Street. Police say he got away with cash and cigarettes. Donald Trump's campaign is looking for a bump in the polls now that the Republican National Convention is over.
Ended late last night, Trump formally accepted his party's presidential nomination on the final night of the convention. He delivered a speech in which he vowed to make America safe again, while bashing opponent, the Democratic nominee to be Hillary Clinton. Weijia Jiang has the latest from Cleveland, Ohio.
Fireworks lit up the sky outside the arena as balloons rained down on Donald Trump, Mike Pence, and their families. The joyful celebration contrasted Trump's dark 75-minute address in which he vowed to restore law and order to a nation in peril.
The crime and violence that today afflicts our nation will soon, and I mean very soon, come to an end.
Trump also made his case against opponent Hillary Clinton.
The world is far less stable than when Obama made the decision to put Hillary Clinton in charge of America's foreign policy. Let's defeat her in November. Okay?
Clinton's campaign fired back over social media throughout the speech.
I'm with you, the American people.
The presumptive Democratic nominee took particular offense when he mocked her campaign slogan, firing off this tweet: "I'm with you, not included, women, African Americans, LGBT people, Muslims, Latinos, immigrants." Trump's speech also aimed to sway Republican voters still skeptical of his campaign. His oldest daughter, Ivanka Trump, did her best to reach women voters.
He will fight for equal pay, for equal work.
To talk about equal pay for women, I thought she did a great job.
The focus now shifts to Democrats, whose convention starts next week in Philadelphia. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, Cleveland, Ohio.
And Kentucky's delegation at the Republican National Convention says despite some challenges this week, the party is unified and they're supporting Donald Trump. 5th District Congressman Hal Rogers says he believes that Trump can bridge the divide between Congress and the White House.
I think he will be a strong leader. I think he understands the role of Congress and the Constitution. So I'm looking for a big change for the better.
Governor Matt Bevin and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell are among the other Kentuckians who were at the convention. Sources say that Clinton could announce her running mate as early as this afternoon. The Democratic National Convention is in Philadelphia next week. Kentucky Secretary of State Allison Lundergan Grimes is scheduled to speak at the convention on Thursday.
A Madison County toddler has died days after being found unresponsive in a pool. The Fayette County Coroner's Office says the 2-year-old boy died yesterday morning at Kentucky Children's Hospital. The boy's name has not been released. Investigators say he fell into a pool near a home on Brandy Lane in Richmond on Saturday. The coroner says his death is being investigated as an accidental drowning. Police are looking for a man who they say is behind a string of robberies. State police say it all started yesterday afternoon with a home invasion in Owsley County. They say the robber stole a car from the home, but was later involved in an injury accident on Highway 1503. Police say the man then stole a second car and drove off again. They say they later found that car in Clay County after the man stole a third vehicle. At last check, police hadn't found the suspect.
Developer Dudley Webb has released some new designs for CenterPoint in downtown Lexington.
The project, which was initially announced in 2008, has faced many delays.
Yeah, long
that would
delays.
be an understatement. WKYT's Mike Byer is live with details on the newest plans.
Good morning, Rebecca. That's right. The project has faced several delays, but Dudley Webb has released the designs for CenterPoint here in downtown Lexington. The sketches show the latest plan for a 10-story office tower, 18-story Marriott hotel, and 12-story Marriott Residence Inn. Webb tells us the latest design shows some minor changes to plans already approved. In the spring, workers started pouring the concrete for the underground parking garage. The project was first announced in 2008 and plagued by delays. Back in March, Webb apologized for all the delays and confusion. He says every time one piece of the project was ready to go forward, another piece would fall through. Webb says what's important now is the project is moving forward. He says it could be completed in less than 2 years. Live in downtown Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
All right, Mike, thank you. We'll see how it goes. A new exhibition that looks at race from different perspectives is coming to the Muhammad Ali Center in Louisville. The exhibit, called Race, Why Are We So Different?, opens to the public on September 24th. A spokeswoman for the center says the topic of race has become increasingly significant in recent months. She hopes the exhibit will encourage community dialogue and, quote, spur interest in learning about the perceptions of realities and race. Members of the community marched in with the police in Frankfurt in a call for peace and unity there. Officer Don took this video of last night's march from Sky First. The unity march was organized after deadly shootings targeting police around the country. It ended at the state capitol, where several different speakers from various backgrounds spoke about unity.
And this is an act to show that we're willing to come together despite any background, any difference among us, that we're walking together and we stand together against any type of ignorance.
The mayor of Baton Rouge found out about the march in Frankfurt and said that he is thankful for the support from here in Kentucky. Well, today, Madison Health and Rehab in Richmond will be giving out free ice cream to first responders.
It's in response to attacks on police departments in Dallas and Baton Rouge. The ice cream giveaway will be from 10 o'clock this morning until 4 in the afternoon at 131 Meadowlark Drive. We've seen a lot of these events happening around town, people really trying to show their support for police officers, whether it's here in Lexington, Winchester, Richmond, all over.
And they're so deserving, certainly. Time to check live drive traffic this morning at 5:41. Let's see what's happening out there. First, a look at the region, and it is good. We have no reports of any problems there along I-64 or I-75. Winchester Road, a clean sail right through Lexington this morning. No problems at the moment.
And here's a look at the Lexington Fayette Urban County Government's live drive cam. A little blown out there, but things moving along fine nonetheless.
Harrodsburg and Waller there, that of course where you have Campbell House on one side and St. Joseph Hospital there on the other. Good to have you with us on WKYT this morning. We have a lot more news on the way.
One little boy in Tennessee loves his local police officers. He thinks they're superheroes. We'll have more on why coming up.
We still have the heat. There's no doubt about that. It's hot. It's going to be humid today and into your weekend. But what about some rumbles of thunder? I'm going to get into that and show you how to plan around these for your weekend events coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Looking across our viewing area of the state of Kentucky, I see no problems whatsoever as you're walking out the door early this morning. Here's what I want you to focus in on. Look northbound. Finally talking about some clouds, some rain. We need it, absolutely. What it's going to do, and I know some of you are going, I've got some plans this weekend. I've got plans today, events going on this weekend. I don't need any rain. But what it's going to do is it's going to cool us off. You're not going to get a lot out of this. However, there still are going to be bits and pieces of some showers and thunderstorms by the afternoon. So it's hit and miss. Some will get them, some will not. This isn't a line moving through where I can say, okay, everybody's in on the rain. It's not like that. It's hit and miss, just like what, the past 2 months? What we've had it. 103 there in Moorhead. This is your heat index temperature. When you walk out your front door, when you're walking the dogs around the neighborhood, this is the way it feels on your skin outside. But I want to show you this. 90 degrees there in Danville, 103 in Moorhead. Why is that? Why is it so far apart? 13-degree swing. Because these models are picking up on at least a couple of rumbles of thunder here and there. And where you see the 90 degrees, the 92, that's where this model's picking up on a couple of rumbles of thunder. So if you get under the rain, you feel like 90, which is okay with me. If you're not under the rain, look at Moorhead, look at Ashland, 103, 104, Maysville coming in at 101. So it's just going to be bits and pieces. If you're under the rain, it's really going to cool some things off. And if not, it looks like it's going to be very steamy right there around 100 degrees. Saturday morning, Thoroughbred horse park or Thoroughbred downtown, that park area, the splash jam going on. It would be perfect there Saturday morning, off into early afternoon, getting the kids out there shooting up water through the floors and through the ground. So that'd be really fun. It'd cool people off too. And look towards your Saturday. Another day where it's hit and miss. Some get the rain, some do not. And if you do not, look at Monticello coming in at 101. So it is a given. If you do not see rain, triple digits is the way it's going to feel. Paddle Fest, Paintsville, Prestonsburg. That's going to be for the weekend. That's an event you can go to over in Eastern Kentucky. County Fairs, Madison starts today. Owen and Harrison and Lexington finish off this weekend. And then the Briars Fest there at the Kentucky Horse Park starting today through the weekend. And guys, it's one of those things, take your water and just know you could have a passing shower or thunderstorm in the forecast. But like I said, it'll cool you off. there was a positive to it this time around.
At least a little bit.
Right.
Have to look for that.
Yeah, there you
Cool
go.
it down to 90. That'll be real nice.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you, Micah. It is 5:47 now.
Well, a little boy's love for police inspiring some of his family and local Tennessee officers. He thinks they're all Batman.
Right. A 3-year-old Joshua Collins gets excited whenever he sees a police officer. You can see him wearing his Batman hat and his Batman shirt. To him, police officers are Batman too. Joshua's mom says it all started when he met a canine officer. The toddler thought the officer's patrol car looked like the Batmobile.
Oh.
I love Batman. I just think it's wonderful. I think it's the greatest comparison to see him do that. That just builds, I think, encouragement to our officers, knowing that they are loved and idolized.
Joshua's day got even better when the officer turned on the flashing blue lights and let the boy sit in the police cars. Really
That's cool.
It is, and you know, terrific on the police side as well, who are more and more involved in community policing,
Yeah.
which is said to be, you know, a direction that is very, very positive. Time this morning is 5:48.
Coming up, you'll get the stories making news right now.
Going to check traffic, see how things are moving along out there this morning, and we have our top stories on the way. It's so good to have you with us. It's Friday on WKYT. Hey, good morning again. It's good to have you with us on WKYT. It's good that it's Friday. Everybody kind of
always.
Always excited about that. 5:52 is our time right now.
Let's get a look right now at some of the stories we're working on for you at this hour.
Of course, this awful story. A man is going to be facing a judge today after police say he killed and dismembered a woman in a Lexington neighborhood. Police arrested 24-year-old Patrick Jones. They've charged him with the murder of his ex-girlfriend, 20-year-old Haley Bourgeois. He is also charged with tampering with evidence and abuse of a corpse. It's Lexington's 12th homicide of this year.
New designs have been released for Center Point in downtown Lexington. The sketches show the latest plans for a 10-story office tower, 18-story Marriott hotel, and a 12-story Marriott Residence Inn. The latest designs show minor changes to already approved plans.
Hundreds of people were without power overnight in Lexington after a crash. Police say a driver ran off the road and crashed into a guide wire near Locals on National Avenue at Walton Avenue. That wire then flew up to the power lines. It caused a transformer to short out. Police say the driver of the car didn't stick around for the investigation.
Well, Donald Trump's campaign is looking for a bump in the polls now that the Republican National Convention is over.
Trump formally accepted his party's presidential nomination on the final night of the convention, delivering a speech in which he vowed to make America safe again. Trump also used his lengthy address to attack opponent Hillary Clinton's judgment.
Clinton's campaign repeatedly hit back at Trump throughout the night via Twitter, saying in one tweet, quote, "We are better than this." The presumptive presidential candidate, who could announce her running mate soon, as early as this afternoon, really is what we're hearing. Clinton campaigns in Florida today ahead of next week's Democratic National Convention in Philadelphia.
Rupert Murdoch will now serve as the acting CEO and chairman of Fox News. The development comes after Roger Ailes resigned from the role yesterday amid sexual harassment allegations. Former Fox anchor Gretchen Carlson recently filed a lawsuit against Ailes, claiming that he repeatedly harassed her during her time with the network. A popular British TV show is heading to the big screen, and the force is strong with stormtroopers, superheroes, and zombies.
Danielle Nottingham has your eye on entertainment.
Thousands of comic book enthusiasts were decked out in elaborate costumes for the kickoff of Comic-Con in San Diego. Celebrations are planned to mark the 50th anniversary of the Star Trek franchise.
Shields up, ready up.
The newest installment, Beyond, arrives in theaters today.
Hiya, hiya, hiya.
Also out today, Absolutely Fabulous. Jennifer Saunders and Joanna Lumley star as Adina and Patsy in the big screen adaptation of the British TV sitcom. The duo says the popularity of their characters is hard to explain.
They weren't ever supposed to be role models or likable. They're really not likable, but people love them.
I think it's because they're so disgusting. I think it's because they're so funny as well.
Hi, Johnny. Don't you remember me?
Oh, God, I can't believe you're still alive.
Supermodel Kate Moss makes a cameo in the film. The official trailer for Hands of Stone is out. Robert De Niro stars as Ray Arcel, the legendary boxing trainer who coached Roberto Duran, played by Edgar Ramirez in the 1970s. The film follows the fierce rivalry between Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard, played by pop star turned actor Usher. Hands of Stone arrives in theaters in late August. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Love that Adina and Patsy are coming back, and Ab Fab the movie. Love that one.
Well, a cool theater might be a place to be in this hot weekend ahead, right?
Yes, let's get a check on traffic right now and see what's happening out on the roads.
We'll see what's going on right now with our look at the region. And you see here, I-75, I-64 is running fine. We have no reports of any trouble. Good ride in across the Clays Ferry Bridge this morning. Here is a look at the Lexington Fayette Urban County Government live drive cam. That is Harrodsburg and Waller, which really stacks up during the rush hour, but right now it's quiet, good to go. You could get in there and get it done early. Just sneak on in.
Get it done, right?
Maybe you could sneak on out this afternoon, right?
Oh, are you telling me I can? Okay, I want to do that. We have approval, Micah, from the boss here.
No.
We're leaving, man.
Yeah.
We're out of here. Good luck, Bill. Hope you knock out the forecast. Defender Radar Network, nothing going on right now, but look north and back toward the northwest. There's a storm system heading our direction, not into our viewing area, but at least our direction. And what that tells me is when you have the heat, the moisture like we have, with that energy at least heading our way, we'll at least have a couple of rumbles of thunder across the region today. Some will see it, some will not. It's not a great chance, but if you get under one of those, it'll cool you off. You're going to look for heavy rain and a lot of lightning. We'll get into that forecast coming up.